Today, I wanted to start with a good expression in English called, "You can't see the wood for the trees." We might complain to somebody, say, "Hey, your problem is you can't see the wood for the trees." Uh, what does that mean? Wood and trees? A wood means a forest, right? Uh, so the meaning here is that you're too busy noticing the trees and you can't see the a big shape that you're in the forest. It means focusing too much on the details that you don't see the big picture. So this is considered a bad thing. You know, if you focus on the trees, you can't see the wood. So that got me thinking about this, and I read an article about by a guy called Morgan Housel. He's a finance journalist, but he was writing a trick to learning complicated topics is realizing how many complex details are a cousin of something simple. Basically, the same idea. When you learn something new, there's so many details that you have to understand, and it becomes too much. It feels like, for example, learning English, all these verbs and all the vocabulary and remembering everything and making a sentence and listening and writing and it's too much, right? It's hard work, you know. It's hard work until you realize the core principles, the main ideas. And once you get the main ideas, it doesn't become easy, but it becomes easier. Then you realize, this fits in here, this fits in here, and now I get an idea. So the key is getting the main core principles. Here it says John Reed, I don't know who he is, but he wrote a book called Succeeding. When you first start to study a field, a subject, it seems you have to memorize a zillion things, many, many things, millions and millions. You don't. What you need is to identify the core principles, generally 3 to 12 of them, that govern the field. The million things you thought you had to memorize are simply various combinations of the core principles. Wow. So if you get the main ideas, then the rest, the details, you can pick up here and there. And this idea is useful for many, many things, for English, for running a business, for understanding chemistry, for everything. There's a hierarchy. It says most fields are a hierarchy. A hierarchy is like an organization. Often is like a triangle. At the top is the most important thing, and at the bottom are lots of things. This is called a hierarchy. In other words, some things are more important than others. And once you work out what the important things are, you can fit everything in together. So it says here, most fields are a hierarchy of truths with big ideas at the top and laws and rules and finer details branching off below them. If you viewing ideas in isolation without recognizing the family tree of where they come from gives a distorted view. If you only see the details and try to work out what's going on, it's difficult. And you think that these small details are the very important things. And usually it's not. It's just one small area. Anyway, it's not easy, but if you can identify the main principles of anything, it helps you to understand and learn new things. Right. Okay. Here are some core principles I think are usually true. This is just what I was just thinking about. Maybe you agree or disagree. I don't know. I've talked about this before, but little daily goals will improve your life. For example, learning a language. If you do a little bit every day, it will improve, right? Saving money, save a little bit every day, it will grow with interest. If you want to get better at an art form, practice every day. Okay, so my principle is doing a little bit every day will improve everything. Okay. Here's another one. B, start from the general and go to the particular or specific. For example, when painting a picture, start with the big shapes before doing the details. If you want to paint somebody's face, a portrait, Well, get the shape of the head right and get the colors. Actually, the way the light is coming in here, I've got a bright side here and a dark side here. So I would draw a circle, put dark over here and light over here. That would be the beginning. I wouldn't worry about where the eyes are or where the eyebrows are until the end. Start from big, go to little. It's a principle of art. See, if you can't explain something in a simple way, it means you don't really understand it. For example, grammar rules or how the stock market works, or really anything. This is certainly true for teaching. My job, a lot of my job, is translating difficult ideas into easy words so that you can understand. All teachers, good teachers, should do that. So you can take very complicated ideas and make a simple way of explaining, a metaphor or something, or an example. If you're good at it, you can make a living as a teacher. No, but you can explain difficult things. Sometimes people make the mistake of thinking they have to use very difficult words to explain difficult topics. And actually, the opposite is true. The simpler you can make it, the better it is to learn. And to make things into a simple way means you have to understand it first. Okay, I'm talking too much. Here are 3 questions. Number 1, what are the core principles of English or Japanese? Wow, I'm not sure the core principles, but or learning a language. Of course, there's lots of vocabulary, but those are the details. I think if you learn a basic grammar and basic vocabulary, maybe, or like the core principles of Japanese. Oh, I'm not sure. You better tell me. Number 2, what are the core principles of good business, for example? Treat your customers well, make a product that people want, supply and demand. I don't know. Can you think of any for business? And how about number 3? Do you have any core principles for life? Oops, I've misspelled that. Principal as a head teacher. Principles for life. Do you have any core principles for life? The core principle is the most important fact. Do you have any? What are they? I'm curious to know. Okay, right. You have your homework. Good luck. And I'll see you soon. Thank you. Oh, I'm still here. Stop recording. Okay.